Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. It's your brother Ayathan. I want to say Shalom to all you members of the elect out there. All right, and in this video, man, this is an impromptu video, and Spirit led me to Joel, the second chapter. I was actually looking into another topic, but the Spirit just kind of had me focus on Joel, the second chapter. Joel, the second chapter goes into the nuclear destruction, and Lord's will, I'm going to read through a couple verses, but here's a verse that it kind of stood out to me, and this is in verse 2. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Now, what this is talking about is the nuclear missiles, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can travel from one end of the earth to the other in record time. It says here that there shall not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it. And what this means is that nuclear missiles were never used before. Atomic bombs were used, but nuclear technology has not been used to fight wars. Not here in America, not on foreign soil. They've tested nuclear missiles, but they've never been used in an act of war. But according to the scriptures, the final war, or the last war of wars, which is a World War III, will use ICBM missiles, nuclear technology, and this will be the war that will end all wars. And coincidentally, many movies have been made about this scenario, such as Terminator 2. You know, the very famous movie that stands out, first movie that stands out in your head, Terminator 2. So, what I got here is, now, pursuant to the scripture, right, that we just read, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Now, what I have here in Wikipedia is a list of ongoing armed conflicts. Now, ever since this rulership has come to be, as far as I can remember in history, there has always been wars and rumors of wars, constant conflicts, constant wars. Whether it's domestic wars or foreign wars. So let's read down here. Now, this is major wars, 10,000 or more combat-related deaths in the current or past year. So this is recently, this year or the last year. Now, check this out. And it has the number of fatalities. Look at this. Last year, this year. And he gives you the years, too. So look at this. Back to back, just wars. And this doesn't even go into like private wars and secret missions. These are major wars that you can count, you know, or that are on record. Here's some more. 1,000 to almost 10,000 deaths in the current or past year. So these are different categories of wars going on at the same time. Look at this. Can you sort this? No. And then you got the estimated fatalities, which you can multiply that. Look at this. Look at these. Look at these. Iraq, Nigeria, Sudan, Mali, Egypt, Libya, Ethiopia, Asia, down here. Now these are what they call minor conflicts, but these are all also wars and conflicts. And what did Yahushua say in Matthew 24? He said, when you hear wars and rumors of wars. And again, it's when this man came into power, pursuant to John 10 and 10, the thief coming out but to steal, kill, and destroy, there's been nothing but death, mourning, and wars. Back to back, damn near every year. Look at this, 47, 48, 60, 64. Asia, Africa, South America, okay, Europe. Now, as we read down, you're not going to see North America anywhere on this list. Here's skirmishes and clashes, right? I mean, look at these. We're going down pages of just wars, skirmishes, wars and rumors of wars. Europe, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa. Deaths by countries. Look at this. Yemen, Ukraine, Turkey, Thailand, Syria, Sudan, South Sudan, Somalia. Okay? Here's some more. Syria. You know, from 2014 all the way up to 2019. I mean, look at these wars and look at these deaths. The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. You see? Again, when you look at a sign or these stats, these numbers, you don't see North America anywhere on this list. This is why the scriptures say this. Isaiah 47:1, it says, come down and sit in the dust. What does dust mean? Dust means confusion. Sit in the dust. Like when a country is poor, what they call a third world country, most of them third world countries don't even have paved roads. It's just dirt roads. And you see them as the communities and the people, they're living in dust and dirt. They're all dusty and dirty looking. You know, the word dust literally means confusion in the scriptures. So it says, come down and sit in the dust, sit in confusion, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now, why is it called virgin daughter of Babylon? Well, number one, the daughter of Babylon represents that this is not the original Babylon. This is talking about another Babylon that comes in the same spirit and fashion as the original Babylon. Now, the original Babylon was a conglomerate in the world. You can say it was a super world power at the time. The original Babylon, ancient Babylon. Okay, ancient Babylon was a superpower at its peak. Okay, so it's called the virgin daughter of Babylon. So the daughter of Babylon. Now, when you read online, you could do there's many books, there's many studies that will compare modern day America to ancient Babylon. And they would say that modern day America comes in the same spirit and fashion as ancient Babylon. Now, the only difference is when you read these scriptures and you read certain prophecies against Babylon, it can't be talking about ancient Babylon. Like Jeremiah 51, the besom of destruction, the destroying wind. That did not happen in ancient Babylon. So it's talking about a modern day Babylon that some of these prophecies hasn't come to pass yet. So it has to be talking about, everything leads to many of these verses talking about the destruction of Babylon. All clues point to America. And it makes sense. The virgin daughter of Babylon. Also known as a virgin because why? We just saw these stats that America has never faced any foreign, any wars or conflict with foreign nations that have touched her. There has never been any bombs or wars or destruction here on American soil by a foreign entity. Okay? So in other words, America has never been popped. So it is known as a virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, meaning out of rulership, sit on the ground. America is also known as a mountain. Okay? When they have meetings, they call it a summit meeting. A mountain represents power. Okay? So the Lord says he's going to have them sit on the ground, meaning confusion. There is no throne. That proves it right there. O daughter of the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans were known for their witchcraft and their sorcery. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay? Boom. So, the point of the lesson is that Joel, the second chapter, we're going to go through it and you're going to see that the war that Joel 2, what it's talking about is nuclear destruction. Because we just read that there was no war like it, nor there shall be any war like it afterwards. So all these wars, okay, these stats, none of these utilized nuclear technology because that is reserved for the final woe, the World War III, the third woe, as the scriptures would say. Okay, so let's go to Joel, and let's read down. And I'm gonna do some Google searching just to bring Joel to life a little something. So Joel 2:1 says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh; it is nigh at hand." And what does the trumpet represent? The trumpet represents the prophecies, the warning. We're warning our people, mainly, chiefly, of the coming prophecies, of the gloominess and the darkness and the destruction that the Most High is bringing. That's what the trumpet represents. A trumpet gives off a sound, and the sound will let you know that there's a war coming. So that is a trumpet that is being sounded by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai through his elect, through his prophets. Sound an alarm in my holy mountain. The holy mountain is who? Israel. You so-called Negroes, Puerto Ricans, those of Indian and Negro descent. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. And this is why the Lord said, go on the highways and byways, the chief marketplaces, because you got all nations there. They all need to hear the prophecy of the Most High. All right? Because they all need to be witnesses that when this thing happened, it was brought out and it was spoken by the prophets coming out of the Bible. Okay? And the credit was given to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and they will see this and recognize this when Zechariah 14:9 comes to pass. Look up Zechariah 14:9. Okay? For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And this is a message that we constantly preach. The day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So all the inhabitants, everybody that hears this message should tremble. This is terrifying, what you see on the screen. Let's read on. Verse 2. It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. And what is that talking about? It is talking about the mushroom clouds. The mushroom clouds. When the missiles hit and the heavens are rolled together as a scroll, as the scriptures say, there's going to be a mushroom cloud that's going to envelop the skies and blot out the sun. And everything underneath is going to turn dark. All right? Let me see if we can find mushroom cloud. There we go. See? Look how dark everything is underneath. You see the ground there? It's all dark. Look at here. And look how huge this fire is. You see that in the foreground? Those are trees. You see the trees? And look how high the fire is. And the fire is way behind the trees because the trees are still standing. So this fire is a ways off. Look at that. Look at that glow. Okay? This is powerful. But everything around it is black because it's blocking out the sun. So it says a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as morning is spread upon the mountains. And what does that mean? Morning is spread upon the mountains. You brothers and sisters that ever grew up on the islands, let me see if I can find it. There we go. When it's morning time and the sun starts to rise, you see the sunlight just spread over the mountains. It's going to be like this. See, when the clouds come, they swallow up the light. They block out the light, and everything underneath is dark, just like this. Now imagine this being a mushroom cloud. In the distance, you got a big scroll, mushroom cloud, and here are the clouds covering up the whole land. Okay, understand? You got to visualize these scriptures. All right, covering up the whole land. Everything is black underneath. Okay, so it's like the morning spreading. Look up a time lapse. You know, not to make this too long, but let me see if I can find time lapse sun dawn. Let me see if we can find that. Okay, now check this out. Yeah, now check this out, brothers. Goddamn commercials. Anyway, whatever. Now see how everything is dark? Now watch when the sun comes. Let me see. And it starts. You see that? Everything is bright. Now remember, now think of the opposite. Instead of it getting brighter and brighter, it's going to get darker and darker. Let me see if I could find dust. That probably would have been more appropriate. Difference between summer, clouds. Let me see, this goes into it. Here's sunset, boom. Now watch this. Everything should get dark. Yep. See, everything's starting to get dark. All right. So I don't want to make this too long, so let's keep moving. It said, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and strong, there hath never been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. And that's the point. Neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. And the people that it's talking about is talking about the nuclear missiles. Okay? So listen, this is Joel describing what he's seeing, future technology, ICBM missiles, hypersonic missiles, modern day warfare using ancient words. Okay? So he's describing what he saw the best he can in relation to what the technology that was around him at his time. All right? It says, a fire devoureth before him, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, nothing shall escape them. So there it shows you it's not talking about people. So it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. So he's describing the missiles as he's seen them. A fire devoureth before him. You got something called warheads, right? Now let me see if I can find this. Whoops. Let's see. Your warheads. Let's see. Okay. Nuclear warheads. Yeah, so that right there is a warhead. So I don't have any pictures of warheads, but if you could see here, right, it says before them, a fire devoureth before them, and a flame behind them, a flame burneth. So here's a flame behind them, right? The flame burning behind them. And then when the warheads, see what happens is, let me find if I can find a close-up of the missiles. Now the missile, the majority of the missile is, here we go. There we go. So here's a warhead inside the missile, right? Now one missile could have many warheads. The warheads come out of the body of the missile, because the majority of the missile, this whole length here, all right, as you can see here, the whole length is all fuel, rocket fuel to propel it. But in the front of it are warheads, and the warheads, as you can see here, the warheads, they split apart. Okay, let me see if I can find video of that right quick for you brothers and sisters. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, Slacker, man. See if I can find something that kind of shows a little bit. All these goddamn commercials and ads. Okay. There's a missile flying. See the fire is burning behind it. See that? A flame burneth behind it. Behind it is a flame burning. Boom. I think it just broke. Yup, it just broke again. And see, there's a flame in front of it burning, and there's a flame behind it burning. Now this is a warhead. This contains a warhead, right? And it's probably going to break up again. Boom, there you go. There you go. See, this is an excellent video. More separation. See, there's a fire behind it and fire before it. All right. And if it's going to show when it hits, boom, there it goes. Now in here this is the actual warhead, and the warhead, see, is being propelled. And this is it's called ICBM, and the scriptures say it's going to come out from the windows because it goes into the atmosphere, then it comes back down. You know, the firmament is known in the scriptures as the windows. All right? The same thing happened when the Lord caused it to rain during the flood. He said he opened up the windows of heaven. The Lord said this time it's going to rain again, but it's going to rain fire. This time the Lord's going to open up the windows of firmament, but he's going to rain fire instead of rain. It's going to be fire. And here's the warhead. There it goes. You see how it's spinning for maximum velocity. All right, so you brothers and sisters, you get the message. All right, and then it's about to hit its target. Boom, there it goes. All right, Joel. So now you get the visual. A day of gloominess and a day of darkness and gloominess. Excuse me. Let me go to 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. You saw that, right? The land is as the Garden of Eden. Here it goes. Before it, the land is as the Garden of Eden. Right? Untouched. Boom. And behind it is destruction and fire. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Okay? Nothing is going to escape this. Look at this. And you saw, look at that. Look at that. Now this is the besom of destruction sweeping the land. You see that? It's sweeping the land. All right? There's no escape from this. Look at my videos. I did a nuclear bomb simulation. If you look at my videos, you'll see it. All right. It says a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as a Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Now, if we go back, why does it say the appearance is as horsemen? Because the way these missiles are decked out in its armor. See, this looks like armor. Now, if you look up ancient horsemen, and see how they have that armor about them? You know, like, oop, that's the wrong one. Yeah, they got the armor about them. Okay, look at that. See? Those missiles are decked out. They're protected. They look like, from what Joel was seeing, the ancient prophets, they look like horses. That's the best thing they could say. Armed horses. You know? Let me see. And usually the horses would be clad in mail and all that too. See that? So this is what the ancient prophets, the closest thing they could think of. Okay, is you see it? You see that? All right. So now you got the visualization. So let's go back. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Verse 5, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in array. Now what does that mean? The noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. Okay, let's look that up. Now, brothers and sisters, this, I'm going in the spirit, man. You know what I mean? Check this out. Here, let's try this one. Now, this is what it's talking about. Let me see if I can turn this up. Of course, these goddamn commercials. Now, this is what it's talking about, baby. Let's see how this... You hear that sound? You hear that crackling? Okay, so that's what it's talking about. Crackling of fire. The crackling of mother effing fire. All right, so boom, now we got that. Like the noise of chariots on the top of the mountains shall they leap. All right. So when they come, when they're on their way, you're gonna hear them. Just like back in the day, you would hear the chariots coming because the ground would tremble. You would hear the sound of them coming. All right. And back in the day, what the men would do, they would put their ear down to the ground to listen, and they would feel the ground and hear the troops coming. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Let's see. Right? So they would hear something similar to that, but it was missiles. And in the ancient days, it was a whole army of horses, so the whole ground would shake, and you would hear this miles before they even got there. Okay? So imagine a nuclear missile. Imagine missiles. All right? Thousands and thousands and thousands of missiles flying at you. So it says, like the noise of the chariots on top of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble as a strong people sat in battle array. And you know what the stubble is going to be? The stubble is going to be people. The scriptures tell you that people are going to be the fuel for the fire. Verse 6, before their faces, people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. So that just proves what I said, because it jumped right to the topic of the people. So the people are the stubble. And in case you thought we was lying over here, let's get that for you. So here's Isaiah 95, oldie but goodie. For every battle the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Fire! Okay, this is verse 19, same chapter. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened. We read about that and we looked it up. We know exactly what that means. And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. So these people are going to be crackling. Okay? And you read on, there's more precepts on the fuel for the fire. Let's go back to Joel. So before the faces of people shall be much pained. All right? They shall be much pain. Scriptures even say they shall gather blackness. Okay, that might be in Joel. Let me see. Yep. Before their faces, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. Verse 7, this is jumping back to the chariots. The missiles. They shall run like mighty men. You saw that missile we saw, right? I was running like a mighty man. You saw I was twirling towards the atmosphere? You know, when I said it was gaining maximum velocity, it was running. All right? They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like the wall. Like they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Now the wall is what? Ancient days, the wall was their defense, right? Like the Great Wall of China. All right, it'd be an amazing feat if you climb that. But today, in today's technology, the wall would be an anti-missile defense system, some type of missile defense system, right? So basically what this is saying, that there's no technology that's going to be able to stop these missiles. There's no defense. And now there's hyperbolic missiles, which there literally is no defense for those. Okay, they're too fast. They maneuver. They can shuck and juke. You can't stop them. Once they're set off, it's a done deal. Okay. So it says, they shall run up on the wall. They shall climb up upon horses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. What's the windows? We just spoke about it earlier. The windows is talking about the firmament. Okay, the firmament. That's their entry into the house of the thief, which is what? This kingdom. All right, this land known as modern day Babylon. All right. Verse 10 says, the earth shall quake before them. So that proves it's talking about the nuclear missile. Everything points to nuclear missiles. The earth shall quake before them. What other technology is there? It says the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. Okay, talking about what? The heavens represents the rulership. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shine. And what that's talking about is knowledge, wisdom. The sun and the moon represents knowledge and wisdom. And the stars shall withdraw their shine. Okay? Verse 11, it says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. Okay, the scriptures tell you that when the Lord comes back, there will be a great shout. Okay, so the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. And what's his camp? All the angels. Okay, the angels, the scriptures say he's coming with the hosts of heavens. It said the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. And the Lord also got foot soldiers, okay, which are his elect men. Those are the foot soldiers that's already behind enemy lines. It says, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Boom. That's the day of the Lord. Now let me see. Yeah, that's it, man. That's all I'm going to go into. I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, brothers and sisters, I hope this was edifying, man. You know, I felt it. I was going through it. I was, again, excited, you know, looking up these different images. It really brings us to life, you know. And that's what you got to do, man. You got to visualize and look up images. Images bring things to life, you know. And this is why the Lord sent the prophets visions. And this comes to life because we're reading about a vision. He's describing what he saw. You know, so we got the internet now, so we could look up these visions and kind of help bring this to life, man. So hey, if you brothers and sisters kind of like this format, you know, just you know, let me know. Lord's will, I'll do more of these. If you want me to do this type of thing with any other scriptures, just you know, let a brother know. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom.